Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, over to you, Cathy. All the best. We're all looking forward to it. So,
Thank you very much.
okay, good. Over
Thanks.
to you.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to today's session. And today the topic is dealing with stress through mindfulness. It's a powerful tool. And I think if we look at the picture, the difference between mindful and mindful, the picture speaks for its on its own. And our mind has got the habit of wandering, always being either in the past, replaying what happened, or projecting the future. So often we don't actually work or function in the present moment. And it's very powerful to actually be there. And mindfulness have got so many tools for us to actually help us to be there. And what I want to do is go from the doing to the being. Us as humans are so often in the human doing phase. We're stressed about everything we have to do. We're stressing about the stuff that we've done in the past. We're stressing about the stuff that we have to do in the future. And if we just focus on being, this is where mindfulness starts. And today I'm actually going to spend some time on that and help everybody and share what works for me. So the mindfulness is the opposite of mindlessness. It means waking up out of your autopilot and taking the steering wheel of your attention back again. It practices mindfulness by maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, our feelings, our body sensations, and the surrounding around us. How many of you on this call have driven to a place, you park your car and you wonder, how did I get here? I know it's happened to me several times. And that's what we refer to as the autopilot. Now, when we're in the autopilot zone, we're definitely not being mindful. We are very mindful because we operate on our auto mind sensations, how we actually get stuff done. We don't think about it, and we're not actually aware of our surroundings. So in William James is saying, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over the other. And if we can actually do that, we will live a much calmer and stress-free life. This is one of my all-time passions, and I want to share this with you on the team. This is a personality assessment tool that I love and I facilitate it. And I want to share with you, according to the Lumina research, everybody has got 24 qualities, and that's the inner circle available to you. The extroverted people obviously more lean into the sociable, demonstrative, and take charge qualities, where the introverted people use the intimate, measured, and observing. So maybe if you on the call can just pick one, just say, according to me, I'll tell you mine. I am very tough. Mark, you said it in the beginning. And I'm told by other people when I arrive and how people see me is a tough lady. So I am tough. Maybe if you can just tell me what is yours, which is the one that you can pick for yourself.
I'll go on structured.
Structured. Thank you,
And
Nicole.
rigid planning.
And then Rose.
I'll go with sociable.
Sociable. Okay. Mark.
Empathetic, I'd say.
Empathetic. And then Anna-Marie.
People focused.
People focus. Okay. Now, all of those qualities are very positive, and it's good to have them. But I'm quickly going to stop sharing and then put up the actual definitions according to Lumina, what these mean. So if we look at, let's go from the top, where's Mark? Mark's empathetic, considerate and in touch with other people's feelings, compassionate, wants to understand people, and altruistic. It's a good quality to have. Wonderful, and it can actually help everybody. If we look at Nicole structured, just quickly going to find that for you. if you can spot it before me. There. An organized and effective planner. I'm sure that's what you meant, Nicole. And then Rose, sociable. Where are you? Yeah. Friendly, energized with interacting with others. And Anna Marie, people-focused. Where are we? Should be up here. Which one is yours, Anna-Marie? People focused.
Yeah, people focused.
Okay, and the quality? Accommodating, collaborative, or empathetic?
Empathetic.
Okay, same as Mark. Now, we all look at that and we say, wonderful. But if we go into our overextensions, which is when we're stressed or we're tired or we're just not functioning to our optimal, let's look at that. Empathetic becomes emotionally stretched. That the empathetic quality becomes so invested that you become emotionally drained and tired. Mark, Anna-Marie, can you actually see that in yourself when you're tired and you're stressed?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It
No.
was compassion fatigue or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And then we look at Rose as sociable, seeking solace in a crowd. So Rose, maybe you can think of a scenario where you were overtired, stressed, and you're not at your optimal. Is that what you see yourself as?
Yeah,
And then,
I want my mom around.
and then we look at Nicole, structured. Having lists for lists, spending too much time organizing your work instead of doing it. So this is just an example of what happens to us when we go into the overextension and the stress. And obviously we don't want to be there because it doesn't help or function any of us. So going back to the presentation, the scenario here is we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. As I mentioned to you, mine is tough. And when I go into my overextensions, the overextension for that is it becomes argumentative. I want to share a little example with you of when a scenario that I was in. I was working in Umhlanga, and you know the traffic circles in Umhlanga. There's no robots, it's just traffic circles. And the one particular afternoon, I was on my way home, and there was peak traffic, and everybody was gridlocked in those traffic circles. And of course, I had one of those days, and I just wanted to get home. So stuck in the traffic circle, next minute I hear somebody hooting at me, and I look right, and it's a Metro Police bus, like a minibus. So I'm in my overextension. I look at them and I look in front of me and I also want to get home. I've got kids at home. I also want to get home. And they're hooting at me. And next minute they let their window down and they said to me, move out the way, move out the way. And I said to them, I just looked at them and I said, we all have families to get home to. And they like took off at me and said, get out the way. There's an accident around the circle. There's an accident. So then I thought, okay, I better back off and let them go, which I did. But if I wasn't in my overextension and I was thinking logically and saying, it is Metro Police, they have got the right of way any time of day. But because I was overextended and irritated and how dare they hoot at me, I immediately like, I'm getting home. You're in a bus, you must probably be going home. In the meantime, they were on their way to an accident. So if we stop ourselves from going into those overextensions, we've got the power of being calm and using the inner circle of those 24 qualities. So that's what I want to show you now is it's important not to react in that overextension, because then we don't see situations and scenarios as they are. We see it as we are. Another example I can give you, how many times have you sent a WhatsApp to somebody and the next minute you get a reply and you think, what the heck? It's because you sent it in a certain way, but they interpret it in their own explanation and where they are in their lives. Okay. So, but the good thing about this is it's called neuroplasticity. It's not fixed. We can change it. Our thought processes and how we react to things the control is in our hands, and the pathways can be changed. So if we practice mindfulness, the power is in our hands to actually say, we're going to react differently. We can know what is our overextensions, what physically happens to our bodies, and then we can change it. Now, here's the beautiful definition of mindfulness. Mindfulness is to pay attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and as non-judgmentally, non-reactively, and open-heartedly as possible. Isn't that beautiful? Now, in our previous sessions, I think it was Nicole Mansour that said, we must pay attention, as the definition says to us. But it's hard to slow down and notice things in a busy world. And then, Nicole, you also said to us, living in the moment, and try to intentionally bring an open, accepting, discerning attention to everything you do. That's exactly what the definition tells us. And in our previous sessions, we had the tips and tricks on how to do that. And then, yes, the last session, Rose, you so beautifully said to us, accept yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat a good friend. And now for today, I want to focus on breathing. Breathing is one of the techniques that we can use when we're in our overextensions. I don't know if you have heard about box breathing, but box breathing is something you can use. It's one of the mindfulness techniques. And when you are in that overextension, like I was in the traffic jam, and it's a quick breathing technique to actually calm you, bring the blood pressure down, and actually just have that power to control your emotions, not react emotionally, but in order to do it. So the reason they call it box breathing, it's in the form of a box. And I want you to visualize a box when we do this. So we're going to breathe in, going up the box. You can do it between 4 and 7. We're going to do it for 4 tonight. We'll go breathing up the box for 4. Hold your breath across the box for 4. Exhale down the box for 4 and hold your breath across the box for 4. So you get the picture. So when you're in that stressful, overextended environment and you need a quick technique to just bring the blood pressure down and calm you down, box breathing is perfect for it. So let's do it together tonight. Visualize, you can close your eyes and just visualize the box in front of you. Maybe think of a very stressful situation, a time when you were mad and you just couldn't control it, and then we're going to do this breathing. So we're going to breathe in, going up the box for 4, and then going across the box, hold for 4, and exhale, going down the box for 4, hold for 4, and then inhale, going up again for 4, 3, 4, hold for 4, down, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. Inhale for 4, hold for 4. Exhale for 4, hold for 4. Last one in, hold, 3, 4, exhale, hold. So that's a box breathing technique that you can use. You can do it between 4 to 7 seconds, whatever works for you. And again, what I love about this is mindfulness is different to different personalities. and specifically extroverted personalities, which is always fast track, and that you can do it at your own pace. Some people might think that I've done this a bit fast, but for me, if I do it slow, it's actually going to irritate me. So I'm going faster, calm it down. And as I calm down, I notice myself breathing deeper and slower. So use it for yourself. And again, it's just one of those tools that will help you manage emotions, manage stress, and just bring that calm over yourself. In Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning, he's got a beautiful inspirational quote that says, "In between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is your power to choose your response. In your response lies your growth and your freedom." I'm just going to leave that up there for a few seconds. Read it and think about it.
Cathy, we're not seeing your slide.
Not.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
let me go back.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Mark.
All right.
Share again. Let's go back. Can you see it now?
No.
Share.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mark. So I'll just leave it there for a second for you to view and go through. And as the example I gave you previously, if I took that breath and maybe did my box breathing exercise, my reaction to the situation would have been very different. So that pause that he's speaking about is that breathing space. It's that moment that you take to take that pause, breathe, and just reset. And it's very important to know what that is for you. And most people, when we say mindfulness, they say meditation. Meditation is one of the techniques. Here's a few other examples that's available to you. And the one is obviously meditation, if it works for you. But meditation, you need the right surrounding, you need the time, you need the atmosphere to have that effective. If you haven't got that and you need to have a break, go on a walk, a mindfulness walk. Now you're going to probably say, what is a mindfulness walk different to a walk? Walking is getting from A to B. Mindfulness walking is being open to your surrounding, actually seeing the path, feeling your body movements, being aware of your body functions, seeing the trees, seeing the surrounding the people around you. That is a mindfulness walk. Another one is a coffee break. We all drink coffee, tea, or whatever beverage is your preference. Maybe first thing in the morning. I do that when I have a stressful day at work. I just walk away from whatever's causing the stress and go make a cup of coffee, and I find a quiet corner. I sit in my quiet corner, focusing on my cup of coffee, feeling the heat of the cup, smelling the coffee. When I sip the coffee, I actually taste it. You don't just swallow it whilst you're doing your stressful work. And sometimes if you need some further encouragement, buy yourself a cup like that's on the screen. Do the engraving on it and just remind yourself. And if it's not working the first time, it's okay. Be kind to yourself and practice it over and over again until it actually lands for you. Another one of my favorite ones is the mindfulness coloring. The mindfulness coloring is actually designed for mindfulness. And because it's one of my favorites, I want to gift you. I've got a little present that I'm going to drop in the chat for you. It's an 18-pager coloring pages for you. Download it, and then maybe after the session, one day when stress gets too much and you think, what do I need to break this? think of this moment when Cathy was going through a stressful exam with Mark, and she's shared her coloring book, and then try it. It works for me, and I really hope that it's going to work for you too. So that again is some mindfulness techniques. It's not all of them, but don't always think mindfulness is meditation. It's not just meditation. There's lots of other techniques that we can use. So the important aspect here is to know yourself. And once you are aware, you become accountable for your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And your version of yourself depends only on you. Do you know what triggers you? And what helps with that is knowing your core beliefs and your values. Do you know what you stand for? Do you know what your actual values are? I always say you get glass ball values and you get rubber ball values. Glass ball values is a no-go. If somebody oversteps or breaks that value, it cannot be repaired. And usually that relationship is broken and it can't become a friend, or that colleague relationship becomes business. The rubber ball one is an example. If it gets broken, it can bounce. I'll give you an example of that. My value is my religion. It's a no-go. If you come into my home, you respect my value, my religion, and you don't blaspheme and you don't talk bad about Christianity. That's mine. When I'm at work, I can't be saying you're not allowed to talk about another religion because mine is a certain religion. So at work, it's a rubber ball. Yeah, I have to work with all different diversity, inclusiveness. I have to work with other religions. So I can respect it. It doesn't mean I'm going to believe it, but it's a rubber ball. We can work together. So just know for yourself, what is your glass ball values and what is your rubber ball values? Another one is your actual beliefs. We all have beliefs, and your beliefs are actually influenced by yourself, by media, by people around you. And all that influences actually changes how you appear and how you actually interact with people. So do you know your beliefs? Do you know what you carry along with you? And on that, I want to actually show you the iceberg analogy. What we show to people is the tip of the iceberg. It's just the top. It's our behaviors. Underneath that is our emotions, our thinking, our values, and our beliefs. All of that impacts how we behave. And because that impacts how we behave, it impacts our stress levels. So I don't know if you have actually thought about it, but I think as an activity and as an exercise, I would like to take you through a guided meditation on your beliefs. And if you're comfortable with it, can I ask you, I'm going to stop sharing, and then just to get yourself comfortable in a seat where you can actually sit and anchor yourself, put your feet down. If you want to, you can switch the camera off or just close your eyes. But then please position yourself in a comfortable seated position and softly close your eyes, allowing your body to begin to settle. Allow yourself to just gently notice the effortlessness of your breath. As you notice the quality of your breath, you may find that everything is beginning to slow down until everything is relaxed and a little bit deeper. If you're noticing any tension in your body, you can direct your attention to that area of the body, maybe giving it a little permission that you can let go. Letting go of your shoulders, softening the muscles in the face. In the back, in your legs. Feeling the body becoming heavy as you feel a deeper and deeper sense of comfort and safety and relaxation. Is there anything you have been holding on to? Allow yourself to take a deep inhale and then let go on the exhale. Bring your awareness to your heart and to the center of your chest. Now silently ask yourself the question, what are my beliefs? And without answering the question intellectually or analyzing or going back into the past or the future, imagine you're listening to whatever the natural thoughts are that arise in your mind. What are my beliefs? What do I believe about myself? Just listening. What do I believe about others? Or do I hear myself saying about other people? In my mind, silently or out loud? Just listening to whatever answers naturally arises. What are my beliefs about the world? What's always happening to me? Just noticing whatever arises. What beliefs am I willing to let go of? To live the life that I deserve. If you would like to plant a seed of intention in this beautiful space of silence that you've cultivated, silently think to yourself inside your mind, I believe. And plant that seed of intention for the new belief. Take hold and root deeply in the silence of infinite possibilities. And on the next exhale, just release any of those old beliefs, those old patterns, anything that has stopped you from living your fullest, most beautiful life. Now just begin to deepen the breath, imagining on the inhale, bring in everything that you love and you deserve. All of your desires coming to fulfillment. Every exhale, releasing just a little bit of stress from the past, a little bit of uncertainty, doubt, and worry. As you begin to deepen your breath, when you feel ready, open your eyes. Bring your awareness back into the room, noticing perhaps any changes in the body, any changes in your emotions and your mind. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through that. And I hope it helped you think of your beliefs and what serves you and what's no longer serving you in order to make the decision what you want to keep and what you want to let go. Sorry, I'm just moving on to the right screen. So mindfulness in the space in between. Understanding what triggers you and what your unconscious reaction is to stress. And when you are accountable for your responses, your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, what is the impact for you, your loved ones, and the people around you? There's many mindfulness tools. Pick the one for the scenario causing the stress in your life and practice it. Practice it until it's perfect. And then I want to leave you with this last thought. The present moment is the field on which the game of life happens. Thank you, everybody. That's me.
Yay, Cathy, you feel relieved. Huh? It's over. Well
How
done.
was the time?
Actually, 2 minutes, I think 3 minutes over, but it's not serious. It's good.
Thank you.
You would be forgiven in the
Thank
corporate
you.
space. We do it all the time, but yeah, it's acceptable completely. Gonna ask our lady friends on the call to comment first on Cathy's teach back. What did you guys think? Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Okay, thanks, Nicole.
Thanks, Cathy. I enjoyed your session. I think you were very interactive, especially at the beginning where you asked everybody to comment and you gave feedback on each of the comments. I also thought you were very authentic in the way that you also shared how you reacted with the cop car that was next to you, or the van, the police. It just brought a bit of yourself to the session. So thank you for that. I think you also touched on a few things that are close to my heart. So for example, firstly, the pause. So that's something I really struggle with. I'm quite a reactive person. And it's something that I've been working on. So that resonated with me. As well as the box breath. I think that's my 911. I think I also mentioned in my session that that's my 911 that I always fall back on, whether I'm in a meeting or going into a meeting or something that I'm stressed about. As well as the glass and rubber balls. I think that's an analogy that I deal with daily. Thinking about what items need to be prioritized so that you don't drop those glass balls and making sure you keep those in the air. So I found your talk very interesting and it definitely resonated with me. I also liked the way you brought in feedback from items that we said in our session. So from Rose's session, from our session, etc. What Nicole Mansur also said, that you brought that into your story as well. And then maybe just one thing that was missing for me right at the beginning was maybe the check-in. I felt that we were diving straight into the presentation. And for me, I would have liked to also just settled, maybe done a bit of a check-in, and apologies if I missed it, but I felt that I didn't settle down and get into the present moment as quickly as if we had had a check-in. But thank you. I really enjoyed your session. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that.
Well, Nicole, you've done my job. I mean, I got no words left to say. I mean, it's so thorough, my word. Oh, that's incredible. Thank you. Any other words for Cathy?
Okay, I'll go.
Thanks, Anna Marie.
Okay, I also think you look so confident as though you do it on a daily basis and you create that safe space. And I also really enjoyed the glass ball and to relate that to your values and the rubber ball. And I think that's very important, not only for other people that you share it with, but also for yourself. And I also liked initially when you had the inner circle and, you know, all the extensions to actually always check in where are you really,
Okay.
to be more authentic. And I also liked what you said about the iceberg and that and you gave clarity on, you know, what is mindfulness. It's not just meditation and all the different aspects that you can actually choose what's comfortable with you. And I always love the definition of what's his name again? The one for the space between Viktor Frankl. What's the space between? And there lies your choices and your growth and your happiness. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna Marie. Appreciate your feedback.
Thanks, Anna Marie. Very good. Very nice feedback. Thank you. Okay, any more words for
Okay.
patience?
Yeah, so I'll just fill in because you ladies have been so comprehensive. Firstly, what I appreciated was the topic that you chose. I don't think there's a single person in the world, including kids, with the amount of homework they get, where, we don't use the word stress as it's part of our normal language. And so um, I appreciate that you kept it so real and we could all relate to it. Um, and the whole expression of the being versus the doing. Again, you beautifully reminded us, where we should shift our focus around that. And um, I sense you really took pride in creating your slides. I felt that.
Thank you.
So I appreciate the effort that went behind that, Cathy. You really presented a sense of generosity when you gave us the gift, the coloring, which I will definitely use and pass on.
Thank
So
you.
that was a lovely touch. Um, the beautiful meditation, the part where you said planting the seed of intention, that really resonated with me. Because it was not just, going through the motions of an experience, but it was a call to action at that point. And I almost felt an awakening in myself. So that was beautiful to, yeah, connect with that activist in all of us. And then I just want to say to you, Cathy, you have this innate gifting, which is your personality. People just gravitate towards your energy, and I'm sure you've gotten feedback around that. And I don't know what you plan to do with this work or in your natural day-to-day work life, but use that. That is leverage. Just your personality and the warmth that you bring naturally allows people a safe space to be. And so I appreciate that you brought that today. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Rose. That means a lot. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks so much, Rose. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I think we've all contributed in an amazing way. And I'm just going to sort of try and not repeat, but I probably will. Um, Love your background, relieve stress the mindfulness way, as you are sitting there right now. Um, Cathy, you look amazing. I love, how you've shown up. You look
Thank you.
beautiful. Your lighting's great. Your connection's great. The opening slide is very powerful. It's probably the most powerful picture I've seen on the web. It's used a lot, but I don't mind. I think you know, it just sums it up. That little image really sums up the difference between being mindful and mindful. Um, and then you went in to say how we're in the past and we're in the future. And if this was the first mindfulness talk I attended, I'd be nodding my head, agreeing, and I wouldn't think it's strange. I'd say this is very interesting and very practical, and the doing versus the being. Yes, I relate to that. And then, I'm tired of doing, and this lady's now giving me a chance to just relax and be.
Mm.
So it's almost like, oh, okay, I can put my load down. I can get off the hamster wheel for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the being part, that's where the mindfulness starts. And I liked what you said. Autopilot, also a very strong word when we are facilitating this work. Um, and then you went through what you can be aware of: thoughts, feelings, body sensation, etc., which I thought was great, because now you're giving us, what can we be aware of, or what is this present moment awareness that you're talking about? And then
Yeah.
you give us an example of autopilot driving. How did I get home? Very much autopilot. Everyone can relate to that. Everyone can relate to that. Um, the slides were great. Yes, I think what Rose said was true. Um, put lots of effort in. I love the transitions, the way it moves like that. I wish you're going to have to teach me one day. And then the William James quote was also great. I like the overextensions. Is that Lumina? It's part of the Lumina model.
Yes, yeah.
It's really nice, and I think there, we got a lot of engagement going, a lot of interest. Everybody was riveted, and we chose our word, but then you really unpacked it. Uh, so I thought that was really cool, and then relating that to how we see things as we are. The personal story was very good. I can just imagine, I have a very visual mind, so I was like just, reliving it with you. Um, and then the WhatsApp message, how it gets misinterpreted and it's a projection. So, it's making us sort of aware of um, sort of the flip side of that overextension as well, and how things can get really weird and projecty, Anyway, neuroplasticity. Oh, sorry, let me just turn WhatsApp off. Don't know why it's on. Neuroplasticity, really great. All of a sudden, we can change it. Oh, yeah, we can change it. Really? Okay, that's great. You touched on it briefly. If I didn't know what neuroplasticity was, I'd still be asking more questions. But time was of the essence. You brought in the definition there. Nicole, did you have your hand up during the presentation? I think you did. Did you have a question?
I wanted to mention that we weren't seeing your slides.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, Cathy, we just missed Nicole's raised hand there.
Yeah.
But then we picked up that the slides weren't, I think we might have missed one or two slides because, up until the Viktor Frankl. I love the reflection of the key points. It showed such awareness of the ladies that went before. I love that so much. So powerful. It's a real game changer, that one. I get excited, and it just shows you were there, you were listening, makes us feel special. Box breathing, good explanation. Um, the actual practice was good. The visualization, I never heard of anyone bringing the visualization in, but you did, and I thought that was quite cool because I was seeing the box and then I thought the breathing was quite deep, but it was fine. Uh, the fours and the forward holding, I was pushing there. But it was good. It was good. The 7 seconds you could get into it. I think if you really spend a lot of time, just get the fours right, but you could. In the beginning of your presentation, going straight back to the beginning, you were quite nervous, and then as you were going on, you seemed to relax and get into your groove. So that was interesting to see. You were in a way like almost stuttering and stammering in the first minutes, and then you just let go of that anxiety and you sort of owned it. So that was fine. Love the Viktor Frankl quote, always brilliant. Pause. Nice thread coming through with the pause, the breathing space. Enjoyed the pic of you meditating in the one slide. That was cute. Should have pointed that out for everybody else's, but we did see it. The walking, your practice, the coffee and how you enjoy that, and the engraving on the cup is really skillful to remind us to do it. I think that's cool, if we can set ourselves triggers so that we can practice, then that is so smart, because the problem with mindfulness, and this is the biggest problem, the demon of mindfulness is the fact that we forget to do it.
Yeah.
If we can remember to do it, then that's smart. So I like the trigger for that. nice little gift in the chat with a coloring in book, and that's something cool. I think that was very thoughtful. Saying mindfulness is not just meditation, as Anna Marie said, excellent. Do you know what triggers you? Do you know your core beliefs and values? I like the glass ball and the rubber example. And again, you opened the door a lot, and you let us into your world. We just got to know you better. That some things are very core, and here you can't push me around there. Okay, I'll be a bit more flexible. I thought it was a good analogy. A powerful question. What are your beliefs? What are your core beliefs? What are your values? I think that this is a big question that most people sort of feel a little bit stumped at. Iceberg analogy, guided meditation. I like the way you pulled the slides down. So it was just you. Nice posture instruction. Gently noticing the effortless of the breath. I like the language around it. Quality of the breath. Direct your attention to the body. Nice relaxation. Little tiny body scan there. What I like the most about your meditation is that there were lots of pauses. You gave us space. I really enjoyed that. The quiet in between. And I could relax a little bit into it. And then in the middle of the practice, we did another deep breath. I like that as well. And then coming into the heart, because we did that body scan. Now we're moving into the heart, and there, at my heart, what are my beliefs and the core values? And I think the one thing I think you were doing is reading the practice. I'm not a big fan of that, but there was quite a lot of content, and you were asking, there was a contemplation sort of towards the end of the practice of those points. I thought that was, cool. I don't know, like there were some good questions and points. I just enjoyed the quiet and the space. I think for me that was really powerful, and the gaps between planting the seed of intention was good. And then releasing, you kept on like, okay, now release on the exhale. You said that quite a few times, which was really good. I think the more that you guide this meditation or other meditations, the more you practice it, the more you sit with it, the more it'll just flow from you. In some teach backs, they just close their eyes and go for it, and I find that seems to be a little bit more powerful than the actual reading. I didn't really know that you were reading, and I was like looking really carefully and that, but there was a lot in it. So, I'm not going to harp on about it.
I must be honest, Mark, and that's why I said in the whole mindfulness, meditation is the one that doesn't come naturally to me. I have to practice it.
Okay.
And I did deliberately put the more longer pauses in because I speak very fast, and I was trying not to speak. So I thought, okay, if I put a longer pause in, my speed of my talking won't be as obvious. But I thought I'll rather have it in front of me in case I get lost or I forget something. But it's because it's new. And it is on my to-do list to get to a comfortable zone where I can just do it off by heart, because that it is 110% agree with you. It's more natural, and the people relax more. Where when you're reading it, it's like you're preaching it. Where if you just talk it, they can feel it.
Yeah. No, look, I must say your reading skills are excellent, because I was questioning, is she reading, is she not reading? I wasn't quite sure. So, you were really good at it. You kind of like, but I've seen enough presentations to know, but but it was, the more you practice it, the more you'll do it from the heart. And I think if you do that, then people are going to go, wow, this lady is a complete pro. Like she's been doing this for years, you know. So if when you run this again, or if you run something else again, mindfulness, you're going to teach. Yeah, just take that bit of advice to heart.
Thank you.
But the more you practice it, the more you will. So, you know, I've done my meditations hundreds of times. I don't even know where the original scripts are for them, you know. And every time I change it, because I feel like, oh, that would be nice, let's add something else. And then I start playing around with it. And that's where I have lots of fun. It's like sometimes I'll be on a session and I'll be doing there's 100 people on the call, and I'll just make something up as I go along because it just feels funny and it feels cool.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that comes with practice. Then gently coming out of the meditation, it was nice, brought me out gently, wasn't jarring. And then there was this gratitude, thank you for allowing me to guide you. That was, oh, that's nice, you know. Then yeah, and then it seemed like you were ending there, and I was like, oh, this is not a good ending. And then all of a sudden, you know, you came back with the slides, a couple of summaries there with the mindfulness tools, and a powerful ending with Eckhart Tolle's quote, and that's it. That's me. I'm done. You know, so sometimes when people do their presentation, I don't know that they've ended. You know, they just say, okay, exhale, right, thank you, and then that's it. You know. So you ended very strong, which I thought was great. I mean, yeah, Cathy, I really enjoyed it. I think you put a lot of effort into it. I think you're a great presenter. And I think the more you do this, the more confidence you're going to have in this subject. And I think everybody gets super nervous when they do their teach back in mindfulness more than anything else. You know, you could be doing a PowerPoint, you know, and your colleagues around figures of what RCL foods did, you know, stats, but forecast, whatever, and you'll be fine. But when you do this, you're shaking in your boots, and everybody tells me the same thing. You know, they say this is the real challenging thing to do, and I'm always curious. And they, you know, I get different stories because it's vulnerable, and you're sharing your soul, and that's what you did. You opened up your world to us, you know, and you did that beautifully. It was fun. It was interesting, and gave us some insight into your world and how the practices worked for you and what you like about the practices. And that's very inspiring. For me, that's the most powerful thing, you know. Is this lady doing it? And what did it do for her? And oh, okay. Well, that sounds interesting, and she seems legit and believable, and you know, so that came through really, really strong.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you know, again, you've got a great personality. Yes, people do gravitate towards you, I'm sure. And that's your strength, that's your power. You can influence people in a very positive way, and you can hold space for people as well. And you can do it now. You can do it today. You know, if someone needs you, you can do the box breathing with them. If they're having a panic attack, if they got some bad news, whatever, you're the one. You're the first responder right now. You can do it. You know, and in
Thank
that
you.
way, that's where the teacher training is going to benefit many. Holding space, and I think you can do that really well. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
especially with your pauses, because I felt that you weren't charging through your meditation. You gave it space and time, and that's something I enjoyed. So, yeah.
Thank you.
How are you feeling? Are you happy?
Yes, I am. In the beginning, I wasn't, when we started the course, I wasn't nervous. And then I watched everybody's recording and I'm like, oh, hell, look at this bar. And but the more I was going through every time I practiced my presentation, I changed something on it. And then I know I'm going to do this way, I'm going to do it this way. So I am super excited about mindfulness. I'm so glad I enrolled in this program. And I always said Lumina changed my world, but I did two feedback sessions at Lumina today that I brought my mindfulness in. And I thought, okay, so I've got two things now that's changing my world. So I'm super happy. And it's definitely, I don't know if I'm ever going to officially facilitate it, but I'm definitely going to use it in my interaction with people and my family and friends.
Oh, absolutely. And the more you bring it in, you know, you'll be embodied and it'll just be a part of you and naturally make people feel calm and at ease in your presence, you know,
Thank you.
just to add to your superpowers.
But thank you. All the ladies on the line, thank you for your feedback. I'm taking it to heart and I appreciate it.
Cool. Awesome.
Thank
Kathy.
you.
Thank you for a wonderful evening. And yeah, so I'm guessing I think Kerry Ann is booked for next week. And then maybe we'll put Catherine in there as well. We'll see, unless Catherine wants to go later. But yeah, that's I think who we have left. There's nobody else. Nicole Mansour's gone. Yeah.
Is Anna-Marie not going?
No.
Yeah.
Unless she's changed her mind. But yeah. So happy, very happy, Kathy. Thank you so much. And I'll be sending you a private message of goodness. And yeah, thank you for all the effort that you put in. And that is it for this evening, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye now.